Deep within the heart of the Whispering Woods lived a sly fox named Finley. Finley was known for his cunning tricks and his desire to outsmart everyone. He always had a plan, but his plans usually only benefited himself.
What a lovely morning for a nap under my favorite oak tree.
One sunny morning, Finley was napping under his favorite oak tree. He awoke with a start when a group of birds flew overhead, chirping excitedly.
What's all this commotion about?
Curious, Finley peeked out from his hiding spot to see what all the commotion was about. He spotted a group of animals huddled together by the babbling brook. There was Beatrice, the kind duck with feathers as white as snow. Beside her stood Godfrey, the wise old goat with long curved horns. And pecking at the ground nearby was Henrietta, a little brown hen known for her bravery. Finley wondered what could have brought this unlikely group together. His curiosity piqued. He decided to sneak a little closer and listen in on their conversation. Little did he know, he was about to embark on an adventure that would change his life forever. Finley crept closer, his ears twitching, and hid behind a patch of ferns. He listened intently as Godfrey, the wise old goat, spoke.
The legend is true. I found it carved into the bark of the oldest oak in the woods.
The other animals gasped. Henrietta, the brave little hen, hopped from one foot to the other, her curiosity bubbling over.
Tell us, Godfrey, tell us. What does it say?
Godfrey cleared his throat and began to read.
Legend has it, in the heart of these woods lies a treasure beyond measure. The golden acorn, they call it, hidden where the sun's rays dare not touch.
Finley's eyes widened. A treasure? This was just the kind of thing that sparked his interest. He imagined all the things he could buy, all the tricks he could play with a treasure like that. Beatrice, the kind duck, tilted her head, her brow furrowed.
But Godfrey, what good is treasure if it's hidden in the darkest corners of the woods?
But the legend also speaks of a map, passed down through generations of forest creatures. It's said to be hidden in plain sight, waiting for a worthy soul to decipher its clues.
Finley had heard enough. A treasure, a map, and a challenge. This was too tempting to resist. He had to get his paws on that golden acorn. He knew he couldn't do it alone, though. He needed the help of Beatrice, Godfrey, and Henrietta. He emerged from his hiding spot, a charming smile plastered on his face.
Well, what do we have here? A treasure hunt?
The other animals jumped in surprise. They had no idea Finley had been eavesdropping. Beatrice eyed him suspiciously, while Henrietta ruffled her feathers nervously. Only Godfrey seemed unfazed by the fox's sudden appearance.
Finley, it seems you've heard our little secret.
Secret? I much prefer the term opportunity. And as luck would have it, I'm just the fox to lead this little expedition.
The first obstacle on their map was a rushing river. It was far too wide to jump over and too deep to wade across. Finley paced back and forth, racking his brains for a solution. Beatrice, ever observant, noticed a fallen log nearby.
Don't fret, Finley, I have an idea.
Beatrice, being a duck, was quite skilled at building things that floated. She gathered some vines and leaves and, with a little effort, fashioned the log into a sturdy raft.
There, this should carry us safely across.
Godfrey, Henrietta, and a reluctant Finley climbed aboard the makeshift raft. Beatrice pushed off from the shore, guiding them skillfully through the rushing water.
See, Finley, working together makes things so much easier.
Finley had to admit she was right. He wouldn't have been able to cross the river without Beatrice's quick thinking and resourcefulness. As they reached the opposite bank, Finley felt a strange sensation bubbling up inside him. Gratitude. He pushed the feeling aside, focusing instead on the next challenge that awaited them. The map led them deep into the woods, towards a dark and forbidding cave. The entrance was shrouded in shadow and strange noises echoed from within. Finley felt a shiver run down his spine. He wasn't fond of dark, enclosed spaces.
I'm not sure about this. It seems rather dangerous.
Godfrey, wise as ever, stepped forward.
Fear is a liar, Finley. Trust in your friends and we will overcome any obstacle.
With that, he took the lead and entered the cave, his hooves clicking softly on the stone floor. Inside, the air was thick and heavy. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like ghostly curtains. The only light came from the cave entrance behind them. Finley jumped at every sound, his heart pounding in his chest. Godfrey, using his sharp hooves, navigated the treacherous path, leading them through narrow passages and around deep crevices. He seemed to know the cave like the back of his hoof, guiding them confidently through the darkness. As they ventured deeper into the Cave of Whispers, they encountered a new obstacle, a series of old, rusty traps. They were hidden beneath piles of leaves and disguised as harmless piles of rocks. One wrong step could spell disaster.
Finley froze, his eyes darting back and forth, fear gripping his heart. He was about to suggest turning back when Henrietta, the bravest of them all, stepped forward.
She had a knack for spotting danger, a skill honed from years of dodging hungry foxes in the forest.
Don't worry, friends, she chirped, her voice surprisingly steady. I've got this.
Henrietta, with her sharp eyes and even sharper beak, began to carefully clear a path through the traps. She pecked at the ground, revealing hidden tripwires and disarming rusty springs.
See, she said, pointing with her wing at a particularly nasty-looking trap. It's just a matter of knowing where to look.
With Henrietta leading the way, they navigated the treacherous path, her courage giving Finley the strength to keep going. He realized that bravery wasn't about being fearless, it was about facing your fears, especially when your friends needed you. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they emerged from the cave, blinking in the bright sunlight. They had faced their fears, relied on each other's strengths, and overcome yet another challenge together. The final clue on the map led them to a clearing deep in the woods. In the center, bathed in a shaft of sunlight, sat a small wooden chest. It was ornately carved and adorned with a golden clasp. This had to be it. The treasure chest containing the legendary golden acorn.
Finley, his heart pounding with anticipation, rushed forward, shoving the others aside in his eagerness. He reached for the clasp, his paws trembling. He imagined all the riches that awaited him inside.
He flung open the chest, but instead of gold and jewels, he found a note, a simple piece of parchment tied with a red ribbon.
"What's this?" he muttered, his shoulders slumping. "Where's the treasure?"
Godfrey gently took the note from Finley's grasp. He carefully untied the ribbon and began to read aloud. "The true treasure," he read, his voice echoing through the clearing, "cannot be held in your paws but felt in your heart. It is the bond of friendship, the strength of teamwork, and the joy of helping others."
Finley stared at the note, his brow furrowed. He didn't understand. Where was the gold? Where were the jewels?
Beatrice, sensing his confusion, nuzzled her head against his arm. "Don't you see, Finley?" she quacked softly. "The true treasure was the journey we shared together, the obstacles we overcame, and the friends we made along the way."
Henrietta nodded in agreement. We helped each other. We faced our fears. And we learned that we're stronger together than we are alone.
As Finley looked at his companions, he realized they were right. He thought back to their adventure. He thought about Beatrice's cleverness in building the raft, Godfrey's wisdom in guiding them through the cave, and Henrietta's bravery in disarming the traps. He had started the journey seeking selfish gain, but somewhere along the way, something had changed within him. He had experienced the true meaning of friendship, and it was more valuable than any golden acorn. From that day forward, Finley was a changed fox. He learned that true happiness wasn't about amassing treasures, but about cherishing the bonds of friendship. He spent less time plotting and scheming and more time laughing and playing with his friends. The tale of their adventure spread throughout the Whispering Woods. The animals learned that cooperation and kindness were far more rewarding than greed and selfishness. The forest, once a place of competition and mistrust, became a haven of friendship and harmony. And so, the legend of the golden acorn lived on, not as a tale of hidden riches, but as a timeless reminder that the true treasures in life are the friends we make and the love we share. And Finley the fox, once known for his cunning, became known for something far greater, his kind heart and his unwavering loyalty to his friends.